Welcome to another episode of the Grown and Greek podcast. Excited for this conversation, but of course, we've got to go over these housekeeping notes as we always do. Make sure that you like, subscribe, share, and tell somebody about the Grown and Greek podcast and the wonderful conversations that we are having. I would sure appreciate it. But more than that, of course, we have to, empower the community. So please find us on social media. And of course, you can watch full episodes on YouTube as well and download the episodes. So this episode's guest, he's the director of the Honoré Center for Undergraduate Male Achievement at Southern University at New Orleans. With a mission inspired by Lieutenant General Russell L. Honoré, the center is committed to empowering young Black men to succeed in college and beyond by cultivating the next generation of educators, leaders, and change makers. So through a foundation of discipline, ethics, persistence, and servant leadership, he is reshaping the narrative around Black male achievement and redefining what success in education truly means. He's also a member of the First Fam, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. So please welcome to the Grown and Greek podcast, my brother, Dr. Morkeith Phillips. What's going on?
How you doing? Thank you for the introduction.
Let's straight out the gate.
Yeah.
I see New Orleans, the NO, the boot representing right there. So one question. Who you got? Cash Money or No Limit?
Oh, that's a tough one.
It ain't tough. It ain't tough.
It's a tough one. I have friends on both labels.
Okay.
I think for me it's the mood. What mood I'm trying to be in, right? The day of the week,
Okay.
On Sundays, uptown New Orleans, and you want to feel yourself, you got your clothes on, you could put on some Cash Money, right? And get your vibe going.
You do the grills and all that stuff too?
No, I ain't gonna do the grills, but I understand it, I'm not gonna do too much of the grills.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, one of my favorite artists is Mac, with No Limit. You want some real lyrics, some real motivation. You put some Mac on and you just vibe out.
That's what's
right.
up.
It's good ride music. When you in your car, you want to ride and listen to some good stuff. Mm-hmm. So for me, it just varies what mood I'm in.
Okay. Now I've always had trouble because I got some homies, that are native New Orleans residents like you, and I just cannot get the Wazam right. The Wazam.
So that's the thing about the Wazam. You have to have a little bit sauce and dialect incorporated in it. Wazam. It's different people. Different. And actually, the funny thing about it, different areas of the city pronounce it different. You'll hear it different.
Really?
Yeah. So uptown, you can get a vibe like, man, Wazam, and you hear that dialect, and then you get downtown, and one of you guys like, what's up? Wazam? Like that, you will know the difference, distinct difference. You got to be from here to know the distinct difference from the dialect from uptown and the dialect from downtown. So it's a little bit.
I got you. I got you to let your hair down just a little bit, break the ice, because you have a very prestigious position that you hold, like on a daily basis, and
mm-hmm.
I mean, you shaping the future. You are putting bodies into the marketplace who are gonna change the trajectory of things. So, I know that the role that you have is serious and it's intentional and all. So yeah, I had to break the ice or whatever a little bit.
Totally.
But what you do and stuff every day, the center, came about because of a passion and everything. But let's get into the backstory. Like, how did it come about? What was the inspiration with General Honoré, and what brought you to the position and having a passion for what you do?
Right. Thank you for highlighting that. Actually, it's a humbling opportunity, right? The center itself was started in June of 2012. The president of the Southern System at the time, Mr. Ronald Mason, they wanted to find a way to end the prison to school to prison pipeline. The initiative came about, how can we save our resources, our diamonds in the rough? And that brought us to the African American male in New Orleans. And unfortunately, Louisiana has the highest incarceration rate of African American males in the country. And we've seen it fit to try to do something. It's a crisis. And when you're in crisis, there's only one person you can call in the crisis, and that's General Russell, 3-star General Russell Honoré. The country calls on him in a crisis. New Orleans called on, and the coast called on him during Katrina. We just celebrated the 20 years of the work that has been done since then in the devastation that he came to deal with and saving lives of people. We went around the city. He was receiving awards from the city of New Orleans, council people, churches, different communities, because that work was a real work that it took a particular skill to have to deal with. You got to understand, I was here during that time. Actually, me and my mother, we was by the convention center, and going through that, you didn't have communication. That's the first time I really kind of experienced that, when people wasn't able to communicate. Police officers weren't able to communicate, and nobody had a sense of direction. So out comes this general, the guy with a sense of direction to calm everything down and try to get everything moving and getting people where they need to be to get to safety. With the other crisis of African American men going to prison, we saw it fit. They seen it fit to bring in this brother to talk about leadership and to name something of this magnitude. This program is designed to save lives, and General Honoré embodies that culture of saving lives and that true leadership. So out of that idea, that's the birth of it, and the namesake came from General Honoré. He's also a graduate of Southern University, Baton Rouge, class of 1971.
Wow.
And they started the journey back in June of 2012 to save as many young men we could. And the idea was, we save them, give them a scholarship, pay for room and board, meal plans, give them $100 a month stipend to try to ease some of the burden of college men, young men. Because young men weren't going to college at the same rate as young women. It's only a 34% rate African American males were going into college. So that was an issue. One of the barriers were financial. So they tried to eliminate some of the barriers, and that's doing with that finance. So now we took care of the finance aspect. The other aspect is, because these young men coming from adverse neighborhoods and different neighborhoods, there's going to be a mental component that sometimes the young brothers can't continue to persist through college because it's mentally stressful. Well, they saw it fit to bring on a mental health specialist. Miss Sonia Brown has been the mental health specialist. She's on 24 hours, on call 24 hours, just in case we have any crisis of the mental aspect. So now you took care of the financial, now you took care of the mental. Then the director, I joined the program, came in as a director in 2018. My predecessor started the program and got it off and running, and then he moved on to some other things that he wanted to do. But for me, I got into mentoring back in 2006, working at a local high school. And from that time, working with young people, I found my niche, working with young men in particular, developing. I grew up in Citrus City, New Orleans. We talked about briefly the young people in music now, and the rappers, and some of those guys are my peers. And I grew up in a CJP housing development. It's named the Magnolia Project. So for me, I understood how to navigate the environment in which you come from, get to a college campus, and then try to navigate that environment coming from the mindset that you had. Because you had to have a certain type of mindset growing up in a project. We know that, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes that mindset does not translate onto a college campus. So you got to do a reconditioning of the mind to make sure you're successful on the campus. So I became the ideal person someone that can relate to the young men, someone that can guide them, and someone that already walked the walk that they're beginning to walk. And with that, I was able to come in with energy and love that I knew that I can do. And I really enjoy doing this work. So the young men that I work with, and it's just that I teach them to be scholarly men and gentlemen. That's the first thing. And then we talk about the leadership roles. They get opportunities to lead during the homecoming court, during the Divine Nine, lead organizationals, and we also lead during crisis time in the city of New Orleans. Even with storms and we were about to receive storms and putting out sandbags, they call on us to
Wow.
take care of some of that stuff. And that's just a part about them giving back. We actually go into the elementary schools and read to the elementary kids as well. And they get an opportunity to see somebody that looks like them coming back into the schools. And the most beautiful thing about the program, when we pour into these young brothers and they graduate, they get the opportunity to go back and teach in the schools that they come from. So they're going back to their neighborhood and be a beacon of hope and something some young person could see and say, hey, if he did it, I can do it too.
Mm.
And that's what we're about. We're about taking care of them, the young men who come into the program, and then in return, they go take care of the next generation behind them.
You talked about the mindset of where you came from and where a lot of the young men come from, and that mindset can be the cards are stacked against me, right? That's one mindset. The other mindset is that college just ain't for me.
Yeah.
So how do you overcome or help to overcome those obstacles and barriers or whatever with mindset when it comes to really I guess picking,
Mm-hmm.
for lack of a better word, picking those students that you want to bring into the program?
Yeah. So because of my relationship with the school system and the counselors around the city, they kind of recommend young men
Okay.
that they already deem uh, best candidates for the program. They call me Dr. Phillip. We got a good one here today. Come over and meet him. Come in, meet him, sit down, and have a conversation with him. Then I bring him on the campus, Southern University New Orleans campus. Bring his parents, some or whoever the guardian may be at that time, and we walk around campus so they get a feel for it. They can touch it and let them know that this is doable. This is
Mm.
something you can do. And then let them know that I've already done it. And most of the people from the community, I'm active in the community as well. I'm a advocate, been a youth advocate in the community. So I have some resources outside of the school area that people know me for. And there's knowing that I am a beacon of hope in our community. It's funny, I tell people all the time, I have 2,200 contacts in my phone, right? More than 500 are parents. Been working with
Wow.
young men and working with kids. I started way back in the Dryades YMCA, and the YMCA back in 1997, being a summer camp counselor, right? And working with different kids from different neighborhoods and different backgrounds, right? We had foster kids, we had kids from the community, we had kids from outside the community, right? And for me, it's just pouring into young people. I develop a passion for it. Really feel this is my ministry, right?
Mm-hmm.
And from a spiritual aspect, this is what God sent me to do. And I'm excited to do that work. So for me, we introduce the young men to the program, we bring them on campus, and then we have to change the mindset. The best way you could change a young person's mindset is to change their environment, right? So when they're at home, they're doing things that's of their community and their neighborhood. But when you bring them on the college campus, they're outside of that. And now we wrap our arms around them. So we partner with other TRIO programs, student support services. We have other staff people to help out. Ms. Ford, she helps out. And our interventions help them get settled on a college campus, right? We tap in with them 4 times a week. We wake them up in the morning. Wait, let me take it back. We started with the AM wake up. 6 o'clock in the morning, everybody's up. You're working out, going After that, if you work out, you go work out, you go to breakfast, go shower, go to breakfast. After breakfast, you go to class. Class, then you go to lunch. We pay for lunch. Then after lunch, go back to class, or if you're finished for the day, then you have dinner. You go back home, kind of study time. Then I do room checks at 10:30. So all these tap-ins are the reason why we have the results of 100% retention rate from freshman year to sophomore year. All our kids come back because we are engaged, and we notice that if you just bring them on the college campus and let them go, they kind of still fall by the wayside in some capacities. And then we also expose them to different things. We this semester here we welcome in our 2025 cohort. We doing mind, body, and spirit. We bring them to church. We doing yoga. We working out. We point in all aspects. We have what we call Manhood Monday. We bring in different experts from different varies of industries, lawyers, doctors, educators, coaches, band directors, anybody of influence, a positive influence, we are putting them in front of them. And then we also take trips. We expose them to courtrooms. We go to other institutions, other universities where they're doing what we are doing, right? So we have so much engagement that it's hard for them not to succeed. But with everything, we just continue to work, and because of those interventions that we have, that's why we have so much success in the program.
And it's like they're highly accountable and
Yeah,
very, very disciplined. And I'm
yeah,
sure that that is a complete, well, not necessarily a complete contrast, but I'm sure it contrasts from where they came from, and that is
hmm
like that is so commendable. But how many students do you normally, or young brothers, do you normally take into the
yeah.
program?
So we normally have between 10 and 15 at a time. We bring
Okay.
them in cohorts. So we just brought in 4 for this 2025 cohort. So we up to 12. We may graduate another 4 in May. So in the next fall, we'll bring in another 4. And then what we'll keep those guys together, that 12 together. And then as that third cohort get ready to graduate, then we come back and replenish. Kind of like a basketball team when it's
Okay.
seniors leaving
You're starting
type of
five, and
thing.
you
Yeah,
kind of were able to swap them
yeah,
out
yeah. That's
to
how
keep
it is.
keep
Yep.
the game going. Okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
how it is.
And then
And it,
once they finish the program, or what is the I guess the duration, or whatever, of the program, and then what does it look like,
yeah,
once they finish?
yeah. So
You
you're
you
in a
talked about it a
program
little bit, but
4 years at an institution, sometimes 5. And then once they graduate, they sign a contract to agree to teach for a minimum of 2 years in a classroom in the city of New Orleans.
man,
hmm
wow. So what I know you have a few, but can you talk about, a couple of success stories that you've, been a part of once they do graduate and, enter the classroom? Because statistically, I've read it somewhere, the
hmm
number of male, African American male
Teachers.
teachers is like point something. It might
Yeah,
even be
yeah, yeah.
1%, something like
Yeah,
that.
it's
It's
two
like very,
percent. You
very low.
got it. It's 2% nationwide,
That's
and it's lower
crazy.
than 1% in the city of New Orleans. So we have dynamic young men come in the program, right? Just come to mind, Jamon Williams,
Mhm.
young man. He was affected by Katrina, right? Graduated, came back to college, graduated, single parent. Then he was affected by COVID, so he
Wow.
didn't get a traditional college graduation. He didn't get a high school graduation. Didn't get a college graduation. Um, and for him to be resilient in a way that he was, and the way he walked around campus, he became a member of Phi Beta Sigma. He was one of the vice presidents for the Student Government Association. He's a true leader in the classroom right now. I actually have him come back and mentor the young men who are currently in the program. True leader. And he came in with a 14 on the SAT. Right.
What?
ACT, I
Wow.
apologize, ACT, right? We have another young man, John Brown. John Brown, raised by his grandparents. Um, came in with a low ACT, I think 13 on the ACT, but majored in mathematics. For some reason, he was strong in mathematics. He senior year, his guardian had passed away, the last one that was alive. His grandmother passed uh, his junior year. Then his senior year, his grandfather passed away. And even in that story, uh, he let me know what was going on, and we kind of helped him put the funeral arrangement together because he didn't have anybody to guide him, to help him put that piece together. So we was there the whole way. Me and the other young men in the program, we act as pallbearers for his grandfathers. Right? It was my brother's keeper. I'm here with you through the whole process. Right? He's a young man, 19 years old. He don't know how to plan a funeral and things of that nature. But once he did that, when he really appreciated the love that he received, he went on and graduated. Now he's an advanced mathematics teacher in a high school in New Orleans,
Wow.
right? And I called on him all the time. He's like, "Yeah, Dr. Phil, I'm coming. Just say it. I'll be there." And he's excited to get in the classroom. He's like, "I'm teaching them like they're in college, Dr. Phil." I'm like, "Okay, okay." And he just a young man, small in stature but big in heart, man. He a real lovable kid, man. And I'm proud of those young men. Proud of them, man. We had Alton Harris, another young man.
Read a little bit about
Yeah,
Alton, yeah.
yeah, he's just phenomenal. Alton and comes back here and just check up on us. He just walk up, "Hey, I'm on campus today, just checking up on a young man." I'm like, "All right," and he brings the culture of the Honoré Center to the school that he's at. He just showed me the other day they had Dress Like a Teacher Day, and he had three other young men with the Honoré shirts on. They was dressed as him because some days he wears Honoré shirt to the to school, and he teaches 7th grade social studies. And these young men are making real impact in the younger people that we serve, man. And that's the priceless part about it, right? That's a sentimental piece that would always resonate with me, and I take that with me for forever. To see the smiles on their face and to have the energy that they have and come back and pour it into the current members is real priceless.
Young ladies are completely different from young men.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, I
yeah,
mean, and we always are, for the rest of
yeah.
life, rest of life. But in today's like society and environments, one thing, and whenever I get a chance to work with young people and mentor in some capacity or whatever, I like to talk, really
Mhm.
have conversations
Yeah.
and let them see my personality and my flaws and be honest and all that kind of stuff with them and everything. But it's always much harder to get young men to let their guard down a little bit. You know what I mean? And I'm sure that can be a challenge for what you do, the work you
Mhm.
do at the Honoré Center. But what are some of the things, and I guess the tools and the tactics and all that you have been successful at with pulling those best parts out of those young men so that they can see you know
Mhm.
their potential and
Yeah.
ultimately seize it and go on to succeed.
Yeah. And so what basically you give them opportunity to display those talents,
Uh-huh.
right? You give them charge to leadership, right? And all right, today, Cleavon, you were over getting a group together and making sure we get to this community service event. You have to meet with the coordinating person at the event. You have to make sure we have all the transportation we need. Make sure the young men are dressed alike. Make sure we arrive on time. Get them there, and then when we're there, figure out our duties, what we need to do at that time, and then get us back, right? And those times, and they take those small tasks, and sometimes they don't think as much. Then over the years, they figure, wow, I'm really able to lead a group of people, right? And you start with those small incremental things, and before you know it, those tools are embedded in them. Because some of them going to be a part of the Divine Nine, right?
Right.
And what they don't understand is the same thing I was teaching them in the honorary program. You're going to use that in the next organization that you're going to be a part of. And then a part of it just meeting them where they at and let them see, like you say, your human side, and you find out what's going on with them. I have a personal connection with each individual, and that was a part that I had to learn. I had to make sure I see them, and most of these young people want to be seen and heard, right? We talk in our group settings. However, I have what we call 101s, right? And we call it Brothers Can We Talk? And in the Brother Can We Talk piece, I sit and talk to them and just I'm not the director at that time,
Right.
right? In that capacity, I'm a big brother. I'm an elder trying to help a young man navigate through whatever life circumstances he's dealing with at that time. So I'm providing guidance at that point. And we do it in a good way. All right, I make a joke here and there, right, to ease them or relax them. But they also understand that they could tell me, and I'm gonna provide them with the best solution possible for them. Because what I try to get them to understand, we got to think long term. We don't want to make decisions in haste, and then we are dealing with that, and that kind of take you off task. So for me, I have to be a big brother, I have to be a director, I have to be a father in some cases, and I also have to be a friend. All right, and for me, it's okay because I do it I do it easily. So that lets me know that this is what I'm supposed to do, and I can do it in a way where, as 12 of them, and I know all 12 of them individually. I know they're hard at. I know what they're going through. I know their parents. I know their environments in which they come from. I know what makes them tick. I know what you can't say. Some of them you could kind of raise your voice with. Some of them you can't. Right. Some of you could kind of push. Some of them you can't. And as a coach, you have to know your players. Right. You got to know what makes them drive. What makes them drive. How do we get the best out of him? And for some of them, it is give them the opportunity to be a leader. Some of them is give them everything they need to be successful, and then they could go on to do it. Some of them you just say, "Hey, go figure it out," and they take that as a challenge. There's a Dr. Fielder had to tell me, I just went and did it, right? And it gets that, and then they have a little friendly competition amongst themselves, right? The ability to compete, and I just kind of preach that to them, and then let them know that it's okay to make mistakes here, right? This is where you make the mistakes. So college is the training wheels for the real world, right? So if you're gonna do it big. If you're gonna miss it big, right? Don't miss being hesitant because the likelihood of you making it goes down, right? So whatever you're gonna do it big, and I'd rather you do it big here and miss it versus trying to do it once you graduate and then it's really something you can't come back from, right? Because you have a house and maybe family. You can't take those type of risks there, right? But as a college student, you could take those risks. So take them, get comfortable with them, and you develop that Kobe Bryant mentality. It's Mamba time, right? The Mamba mentality, right? And that's how you attack life.
You put a lot of these young men in the classroom. Man, to see, and I'm affected now, when I learn that there's a brother teaching the future, and just that strength, that presence or whatever, is so, I don't know, it does something, why was that path, I guess, important for the Honoré Center instead of them not going the lawyer route or the doctor route? Why is the educational path the path that they have to commit to?
Yeah, because it's important. We found out through research, if a young man sees an African American boy see a African American teacher by the third or fourth grade, it decreases by 40% of them dropping out of high school. If they see the same male by the fifth, sixth grade, it increases them 30% to go to college. So the impact that you have on an African American as an African American educator in a classroom is beyond your understanding. Because most young people, think about it, when they get in trouble, the first time they get in trouble, the first time they meet a person of authority is the police, right? What we try to do as a male teacher, you be the person of authority inside the classroom. We don't want them to go to the security guard in the school system, right? Right now you get put out of class, you got to go to the security guard and they walk you. It's too much resemblance of police, jail type of vibe. We don't want that. What we want to do is have enough strong male teachers in the classroom that we're able to control behavior, right? And develop behavior. So once you leave the classroom, you don't have those problems in the world, in society. And that was the impact. Well, I think about most of my influential people through school was my teachers, my male teachers, my band directors, my football coaches, right? Those guys are really one put me in place. Unfortunately, my dad has been incarcerated majority of my life since 1991, right? I was 11 years old, maybe even, I can't even remember. But we don't have that relationship. So where did I get it from, right? How can I be a mentor? And I didn't have a positive male figure in my life, right? But through time, I had a mentor that came along with just so happened to be my uncle, right? And he exposed me to different things. And that's the best thing you could do for a young person is to expose them to things that they don't normally see. And through that exposure, I was able to develop a different sight, right? And that's the impact that you have as a teacher. So when you say the teacher route, why didn't you choose another route? Because this was needed. We look around, a lot of our brothers are not in the home. So where we could get a positive male figure at, everybody got to go to school, right? We hoping that these young men have an impression on some young people that we deter them from some of the things they could potentially have gotten into. So that was the most important component of the program, that we put more males in the classroom.
Those statistics are wild, man. And I've researched a little bit, and also know people that work in the educational, like combating the stigmas and the what is it, the school to prison pipeline and all. And it's like mind boggling how over and over those statistics remain, but the work that you're doing is combating that. And I'm so glad to have this conversation because people need to know, people need to know the work that you're doing and the resources and stuff that are available to them and to the young folks too. But question for you, you've been with the program and directing the program and stuff for a while. What has it done for you? Like what have you learned about yourself that has been just integral in you continuing to embody what you are doing for not only the program but in society, within the D9 and everything? Like what has it done for you?
For me, it actually is humbling, right? And it gives me a sense of purpose, right? Every day, I know I'm going to engage with young people, and I'm going to make a difference. So when I first got the job, I told them, "Hey, you guys are really paying me to do this. I really would do this for free. If y'all gonna keep paying me, I'm gonna accept the money. I'm not gonna turn around." But because I started mentoring back in 2006, working with young men for no money. I was in college. I was an undergrad. On Tuesday and Thursday, I actually it was our national program, go to high school, go to college. So there's a part of our chapter to working with, I was the chapter president at that time, and that was a part of our community service, go to high school, go to college. So my my chapter adopted this local high school, and we would go there on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3 to 5. And for me, 7 years later, in 2013, I kept doing it, and I went to school. Got my master's degree, and that's the reason why I kind of stopped with the high school, because I went to Baton Rouge to get my master's degree, and when I came back, 2015, I started working with Trio, working with boys and girls, but
Right.
pre-collegiate.
Mm-hmm.
And then this opportunity came in 2018, and it was like, hey, your name came up for opportunity to run the Honoré Center. I'm like, wow, it was cool. Okay, I'm familiar with that. I work with young men, and for me in a faith base, God was preparing me for this role back then,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I didn't know that then. So for me, I come and do this work effortlessly. It takes me nothing to do this. And that's when when you're really living in your purpose,
Absolutely.
that it don't, people ask me all day, like, man, how do you do it? You get these, and when I say, sister, we get these young men around the city, we get them in front people all over, and it's just seamless. We going to church 12 deep, everybody's suited and booted.
Hmm.
They're like, man, who are these young men? Because we don't see this often,
Right,
right?
right.
And I just say, it's just my mission. It's my ministry, and I'm just doing what God asked me to do. And
But but with you saying that, there's nothing stronger and nothing more, I guess, impactful than a man with purpose who knows his
mm,
purpose. I mean, really, like seriously,
yeah,
like you walk into the room and you already embody who you are and what you
hmm
are here for. Man,
hmm
I can only imagine, what impact that alone is having on these young men. And
yeah,
going back to your paying homage to General Honoré, um, and he embodies the same things. You know what I mean? But
mhm.
if he was sitting, with us, listening to this conversation and stuff now, what would you say to thank him? What would you say to give him his flowers? About
Yeah.
what has what has transpired.
I told him this, and I don't think he really heard me, because he have a lot of stuff going on. Like, and bringing it back to God, I have to
Mm.
do that. It was just mind blowing that during Katrina, he was the one that came help and save me,
Oh wow! Oh
right?
wow!
Me and my mom, we outside the convention center for 2 days,
Yeah,
right? Until he came and restored order.
yeah.
And you think about that 12 years later, and I'm working for him, saving these young men, right? And I told him that. He's like, yeah, Dr. Phillips, I understand, I appreciate it. I say, nah, you don't really understand what I'm saying. I maybe not putting it in a proper context, but for me, this is something, right? I couldn't imagine myself here in 2005. I didn't imagine that, right? And here it is 13 later, you helped me and my mother. Now I'm here helping you, carrying your legacy
Mm, mm,
with a whole nother generation
mm.
that's going to positively affect another generation. That's what the embodiment of legacy is.
Mhm.
So I get the opportunity to pay you back for saving my life to
Wow.
continue your legacy. And I'm humble and I'm thankful for it. And just a caveat, it was 30 people who applied for this job.
Mm, mm,
Some people were public officials.
mm. They weren't the
And I
one.
and
They
I
they weren't
remember
it.
I remember going in, getting ready for the interview. I had a bag with a projector. I was about to talk about all my work with the Drive YMCA, working with young people. talking about my work we did in Alpha with the young people, the high school we adopted. And a lady told me, we don't need all that. We want you. We want to hear from you. That has nothing to do with that. The person we're going to need for this job, we looking for a particular individual that have a particular set of skills. That's going to give us data and stats. We're not looking for none of that.
Mm.
And out of those 30 people, I was chosen. It was written already.
It was already written. That's what I was gonna say. It's so parallel to the word that it's crazy. You know,
It's crazy.
It's crazy. God gave to General Honoré, and he made those disciples. You spreading the word, and you are bringing other disciples into the fold. And it's a beautiful thing, my brother. Beautiful, beautiful,
Yes.
beautiful,
Yes,
beautiful,
ma'am.
beautiful thing.
And and the fact that I know that and I live by that,
Absolutely.
that's the humbling part about it.
Yeah.
Right? I walk with a certain moxie of confidence because I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. In a cafeteria the other day, the young lady said, "Oh, you waving like you're the president." I said, "I'm practicing."
Amen.
I'm practicing.
Amen.
Right? Yeah, and that's just who I am because I'm coming to check on my people to make sure that they're all right. I'm preparing for a welcoming event. You're welcome to come to. It's going to be November 15th. I'm sending that invitation if you have time.
Okay.
Come on down.
Okay. Well, you know, you are a member of the first Black Greek fraternity.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you guys lead in a totally different way. I can say that. Both of my brothers, I have two brothers, and both of them are alphas. Alpha men.
Good men. Good men.
Good men. And I know a lot of great men. Good men, great men, you know, pillars in the community and everything. But what brought you to Alpha Phi Alpha?
Actually, it was my mentor.
Okay.
You know, and the mentor and uncle, man, he actually worked in Alpha. He was executive director Alpha from 2000 to 2004 under Harry Johnson presidency. Harry Johnson is the president of the Martin Luther King Foundation right now. But Gregory Phillips is his right-hand man, been his right-hand man since they was on the campus of Xavier University. And he just kind of embodied what a real man looks like. He embodied what executiveness looks like, right? And he exposed it to me, taught me everything I needed to know between the people in my community and I would say God, my family, my uncle is the reason why I am who I am today. Straight down to where I dressed, to wearing suits, and I didn't know how to tie a tie, learn how to tie a tie. I was wearing regular suits. He was telling me, you know, that's how you start off going to Men's Warehouse, and then I'm gonna expose you to custom made suits. So now I'm wearing custom suits. And he said, when you go in these rooms, the people who wear suits gonna know that you wear what you got on, and you want to carry yourself in that way, you know. And he, a humble giant, right? He believed in doing more for others than you do for yourself. That's what he taught me. Do more for others than you do for yourself.
That black and old gold.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, and let me shout out my nephew too. My nephew, well, one of my I have three, but my nephew is an alpha too. So like we got this whole lineage happening.
Yeah,
right?
I appreciate it.
That first family is
I appreciate it. It's strong, man.
Strong.
Y'all understood the assignment.
We understood the assignment. But all jokes aside, it is just an honor to know the work that you're doing, because it definitely precedes you. I did a little research, and your frat brother was telling me a little bit about you, but to hear it and to meet you, I just want to thank you for what you're doing, and I'm so honored that you took the time to be on the podcast. But I want to shift a little bit and tease you
Yeah.
because I did my little research about you. How you
Uh-huh.
gonna be
I knew it was coming.
a Eagles fan and you
I
from
knew it was
Florida?
coming.
I mean, I
I knew it was.
I can be okay with it because you got that Alabama by way of Oklahoma.
I
Baby.
appreciate it. I appreciate it.
You got
Devontae
Slim
Smith.
Reaper. You got
Yeah,
Slim
yeah,
Reaper coming through.
yeah.
How that happen?
Man, I get this question all the time.
And
And
you
like I
bought cigars and everything.
said, yeah.
I said, man, he is legit a Eagles fan, man.
Oh man, growing up uptown, I grew up in a nearby park. It was Shakespeare Park now, L. Davis, and there was a lot of athletes came out of that
Okay.
park. For me, the Saints weren't really winning in that time period. You gotta understand, this is like 93, 94. Saints weren't really winning, and I kind of started to watch Randall Cunningham, and I took a liking to Randall Cunningham and Herschel Walker, right? And those guys. And for me, that Randall Cunningham was like the best quarterback I ever seen, and I just stuck with Randall Cunningham. Yep.
Yeah. So what you think they're gonna do this year? I
Well,
don't
we
see
still
nobody.
working. We still working. We got a new coordinator. We got iron out a lot of things. We get back in rhythm. That's what it is all about. Unfortunately for Jalen, he had new coordinators every year, and people don't understand the smartness of that to learn a different playbook every
Yeah.
year. Yeah, right.
Now this is my prediction. Jalen is going to go down in history as
Mm,
one of the greatest quarterbacks to
mm.
ever play the game.
Speak.
Reason being is because of what you just said. That's number
Mm,
one. But number
mm.
two, he is very well rounded, and they don't give
Yeah,
him credit. They do not
yeah,
give him credit yet.
yeah,
But
yeah.
when we look back years from
Mm-hmm.
now,
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any quarterback
Mm-hmm.
not only putting up the stats he's gonna put up, but
Mm-hmm.
also being just such a well rounded
Mm-hmm.
player. He's got an arm on him, he's got accuracy, he can throw. You can
Mm-hmm.
see he's still developing. Like even though he's in
Yeah,
the Super Bowl,
he's
but he ain't even there yet. He's
yeah,
not even there yet.
and you say the other day in the press conference, the best is yet to come.
Oh,
Right,
absolutely.
and he's still working, and he's humble.
Oh yeah.
He didn't. I saw an interview with Peyton Manning. He said Peyton Manning said, man, he calls me all the time. Y'all don't understand. He calls me all the time to ask me so many questions. He's like, y'all don't understand that he's real cerebral
Mm-hmm.
with it, right? And that's one of the things they kind of say that's not one of our strengths at the quarterback position,
Yeah.
right? And now he's partnered with Michael Jordan, right? He's
Crazy.
carrying the Michael Jordan brand and learning what it's like to be a champion,
Mm-hmm.
right? And those intangibles is the reason why you become a successful leader,
Oh yeah.
right? And for him, he understands I got to take it day by day, small bits, and just keep getting better. Even though we stumble a little bit, just keep learning and keep and getting better. And for most part, I'm friends talk about me, say, "Hey man, he's not a real quarterback. I told you he's not a good quarterback. Look at the yards he passed." I say, "But y'all want winning to look a certain way.
Yeah.
That's what y'all caught up in."
Yep.
I know it's 2025. Y'all want high flying offense. For me, I grew up on football. I could take a 6-9 nothing game. For
Mm-hmm.
y'all, that was boring when the Super Bowl happened. That was a score. That was the most boring Super Bowl. I'm a true football fan, die hard, right?
Mm-hmm.
I grew up watching these Pittsburgh Steelers in the 1995 when these guys were you weren't scoring
They're
all those
killing each
points,
other. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
wouldn't. Yeah, you didn't have much protection in in that time period
Right.
that you had there, so you weren't scoring all those points, right? And that's what I tell guys, man. We playing football,
Mm-hmm.
play football. Don't get it twisted. For sometimes it could be a little entertaining, but at the end of the day, we playing football, and I love to see football being played. And
Absolutely.
Jalen, he knows that. He said his God first, family second, and championships third. That's his purpose,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And look, he got all women in his team.
Yeah. Well,
First person with all women
he
team.
know a secret. He know a secret.
Yeah, he ain't know what I said. He understand the accent. When he listened to Undergraduate, he said, "I listen to Anita Baker."
Yeah,
What? Anita Baker? Yeah. Come on, man.
yeah.
He's different.
That soul is grounded. That
Yeah.
soul is grounded. Absolutely.
Humble.
Absolutely.
And
Well,
I'm gonna keep working.
Dr. Morkeith Phillips, I salute you with
Yeah.
the ski week. I salute you.
Yeah, hold it down now.
And keep doing what you're doing. And I am so, I'm so excited to connect with you. And I got some folks that I want to introduce to you. Because I think it will be a great synergy or whatever there, but just keep building on this community and really changing lives for young folks, definitely, because they are the future, but also to really spotlight the good work that members of the D9 like yourself are doing, because sometimes the work is thankless. It's thankless, but we're doing it, and we got to keep doing it. And I just, like I said, I'm so thankful that you took, a little bit of time out of your day, being a pillar, to talk to me today. I really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for the opportunity to come and have this dialogue, meaningful dialogue, and positively. I love the energy. Whenever you see fit, have a little corner of time in your pocket, I would love to come back and continue to have these positive conversations. And we need to get more positivity out there.
Oh,
right?
Absolutely. It's already done, and it's planned. So it's done. I already, my wheels are already turning. In other words, well, how can people stay in touch with you and follow the journey, and especially because I'm sure there are opportunities to give stuff to the Honoré Center. How can people do that?
So you can, by simply clicking on to honorecenter.org. You can follow us on Instagram. We are Honoré_Center. My name is on Instagram, Morkeith Phillips. Same thing as Facebook, Morkeith Phillips on Facebook. And on Facebook, we're Honoré Center for Undergraduate Student Achievement. If people want to reach out, they can reach out via my email address. And that's mphillips, MPHILLIPS, @suno.edu, SUNO.edu. And I'm always open to have conversation, always open to pretty much share my resources that I can help somebody else to get to where they need to be. I'm just a vessel.
Amen. Well, thank you, my brother. And as always, y'all make sure you share this episode. Like, real talk, make sure you share this episode. Make sure that you like, subscribe, of course, comment on all social media platforms, and of course all podcast platforms, and watch on YouTube. And we will do another Grown and Greek episode again real soon. Thank you, Morkeith.
My pleasure. Have a good one.
You can support Grown and Greek by subscribing to the podcast, shopping our exclusive luxury accessory line, or purchasing books from the D9 Book Club by visiting our website at grownandgreekpodcast.com. Don't forget to like, comment, and share on social media at Grown and Greek Podcast. Thanks for watching.